We've known forever that Trump has contempt for journalists
and women.
He has, well, of course, contempt for journalists, contempt for women journalists especially.
Oh man, you put those two together, it's a wicked combination.
Anybody who would like speak back to him or push back against his lies that he thinks isn't in a position to do so or isn't the type of person that should be doing it, he gets mad immediately.
And it's like Trump thinks women should be in their place, and Trump thinks journalists should not question him at all. So when you combine the two, it's just something he can't handle.
And this really culminated, especially around his frustration with the Epstein stuff, very recently on Air Force One, where this journalist asks him about, like, if you're in support of this bill that he has now signed, by the way, then why didn't you just release the Epstein Files? Or, like, you could just do it on your own. And he hit her with the quiet piggy.
Insane, dude. It's like he put the evil voice on too. It's like he did a fucking Palpatine Green Goblin impression just to like be a misogynist and shit on this poor lady.
It's like piggy? Like
piggy? Excuse me?
It's like 1960s style misogyny.
And it feels, I don't know, cliche to talk about how Trump is a misogynist and to bring up this point, but like I feel like I have to anyway. It's like he would never do this to like a guy.
No.
Like never has he like snapped at a male journalist like this. I don't even know what the equivalent like snap would be. Quiet, small cock. Like what? Like you can't, you're just like, it's so like on brand for this like old man kind of misogyny, and it's crazy that it's now out of the news cycle too.
Oh yeah.
This I don't know, like 2 years ago would have been a massive scandal. It'll lasted for a while. We'd have goddamn Lester Holt doing 1 billion interviews with Joe Biden, criticizing him and whatnot. And instead this got like a semi-viral moment on social media the night it happened, and then nothing. It's been like silence.
I mean, I hate to be that guy, but like, can you imagine if Biden or Obama did
there's
this?
Gonna be there's gonna be a lot of that today, unfortunately, and I hate it, and it's the worst.
Because it's like hypocrisy, whatever. But it's just like I cannot imagine Joe Biden or Obama ever saying quiet.
Yes.
Like there was one moment in Biden's administration where Peter Doocy from Fox News was asking him some stupid ass questions, and I think Biden under his breath, but like hot mic'd, said like "fucking idiot" or something like that,
and type shit. Yeah,
and it was like, and that was like a big story. People got mad at him for it, but it was like Loki, yeah,
he's right though.
But then
let him cook.
Trump is getting questioned about his connection to the pedophile king, and he busts out the quiet piggy.
Like, tell me you're guilty without telling me you're guilty.
What?
Insane, right? Yeah, it's like genuinely insane, and it blows my mind that this isn't a bigger story. But and I feel like that's a story in of itself, right? Like, there's the story of Trump having the quiet piggy, just evil voice outburst, and then there's the story that it's not a story, because this should be something bigger than it is. But Trump is just so misogynistic, so evil, so awful that it's just something that's kind of accepted and glossed over. Nobody's going to be talking about this in 2 weeks. Fuck, I might even forget about it. You know what I mean? Like that. Like, unfortunately, that's just kind of how the news cycle has been going. There has been so much going on.
Yes.
That something that should be genuinely unacceptable for the president to do is just like,
and it's like, I can't remember exactly who this person was, but obviously like a credentialed journalist. I mean, she was aboard Air Force One with the president asking him questions, right? Like, this isn't just some random person. It's just like unbelievable to me.
Yes.
That he busts out the quiet piggy.
Exactly.
And there really was no like right-wing conversation about it that I saw, because it's so unjustifiable.
The right-wing conversation I saw was, well, he was talking to a woman named Peggy. He wasn't.
Her name was not Peggy.
He wasn't. Insane levels of cope there. That's like spiritually Instagram threads. You know what I mean? It's like how like Blue MAGA goes crazy on Instagram threads for like some things, but just actual MAGA doing it.
Yeah, no, it's
fucked
diabolical,
up, man.
I mean, speaking of him having contempt for journalists.
Yeah, no, and it's also insane that wasn't the only moment. Like, Quiet Piggy was like the first thing that happened this week, but it wasn't the only thing that happened this week, because he also had the Saudi crown prince like in the White House. And of course, Trump was asked just like a litany of questions, some more less severe, some more severe. And it was horrible.
Well, and I just like some context. This is the first time that the Saudi crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman, has visited the United States since 2018, right? In 2018, he did this tour around the country, and then shortly thereafter, he killed Jamal Khashoggi, and then he hasn't been in the United States since. Biden, in my opinion, did not do enough to push back on Saudi Arabia, but for various reasons, here we are. He's back in the United States.
And it's like, we know why Biden didn't do enough to push back on Saudi Arabia, because Trump just tells us.
Yeah.
I mean, back in like 2018, 2019, when the CIA concluded that, he ordered Jamal Khashoggi to be killed, Trump said, it'd be bad for business if we do anything.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was damn near almost exactly that. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. And then we get here, and a journalist asks him, I believe, was it from ABC?
ABC, I think, or CBS, one of the two.
Yeah, a journalist asked him, like, hey, like, blah, 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 this guy killed Jamal Khashoggi. Do you have anything to say about that? And Trump's fucking response was, a lot of people didn't like the guy. Shit happens. Are you fucking kidding me? What do you mean? You can't react like that. A lot of people didn't like the guy that was murdered, and then what the fuck are you talking about?
If these things happen, no, they don't.
Shit happens. It's not supposed to. We're not supposed to accept that.
Yeah.
Especially when your CIA back in 2018 concluded that he got the guy killed. Mm-hmm. What are we doing?
Yeah, and Jamal Khashoggi was an American resident. He's from Saudi Arabia. He's a Saudi citizen. Lived in the United States for a time. I think worked for the Washington Post, from 2017 until he was killed. And he was an outspoken critic of the regime in Saudi Arabia. He's in Saudi Arabia, went to the consulate in Istanbul for some reason. I don't remember exactly why he was there. He didn't come out.
Yeah, he went to a room, didn't come out. They fucking killed the guy. And Trump's like,
him, whatever. And Trump just doesn't give a shit. And of course, pulls the fake news card and talks down on the woman journalist that asked him about this question. It's just crazy. Well, it's crazy.
He also got asked about the Epstein Files because, fuck, how can't you?
Yeah.
You literally can't not ask him about the Epstein Files. And he just went on a rant talking about how ABC needs their license revoked. Mm-hmm. Brother, that's just dictator shit.
In front of another dictator.
He's trying to impress the guy.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what it is.
They're in a dick measuring contest.
Trump has this view of the world where it's I'm in a position of power. Nobody should be able to question me. And if they are questioning me, it must be fake or it must be a motivated political attack.
It's he only ever praises other dictators. He loves, the conservatives love talking about Viktor Orban. He loves talking about this guy. Now, he loves Saudi Arabia. And he also talks nicely about Putin.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, maybe Putin's got a picture. I don't know, but
yeah, he also admires President Xi. It's crazy, man. The way this guy is moving.
No, it's fucking nuts. And he was also asked, least consequentially, which it shouldn't be the least consequential, but that's just the state of this administration. He was asked about whether or not it's a conflict of interest for him to be president with all his family's connections to Saudi Arabia.
Oh yeah, that was the other question.
A la Jared Kushner of Arabia, and he was like, "No, what the fuck are you talking about? Blah blah blah. How dare you accuse me of that? I'm not involved in my family's business." Motherfucker, you're the president of the United States. You're having the guy over. Your son-in-law does business with the guy. Billions of dollars worth of business. They just bought EA together. Mm-hmm. And you're telling me there's no conflict of interest? Jimmy Carter had to sell his fucking peanut farm.
Jared Kushner got $2 billion for free from the Saudi Arabia government.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago.
The depths of corruption here are so insane that would tank another presidential administration. Mm-hmm. But that's the most banal aspect of what's going on here. That is the least consequential question that was asked. That's the least newsworthy sort of thing that's going on, because we got him being friends with the pedophile king in the past and maybe allegedly being a pedophile and engaging with those actions, and we got him being fuck, whatever, they killed a journalist, fuck,
it's just chronic levels of crashing out. Yeah, no, it's crazy. And I keep coming back to Quiet Piggy. It just encapsulates all of it, man. He wishes he could just force people to shut up, and he can never be questioned.
Because Quiet Piggy, that's the moment where it's his contempt just really shined through, and it shined through in a unique way. He did the thing when Zelensky was in office, the what if a bomb dropped on your fucking head, which I completely forgot about till I was reminded about it last night. That's just normal for him to burst out at journalists in that kind of way. The Quiet Piggy thing is another level, though.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Maybe call me a liberal, call me an Enlightenment liberal, but I think having public officials that are actually willing and even excited to be questioned by the media would be a good thing.
Exactly.
It should be a part of the democratic process that you answer questions from people. And it's not an unfair question to be hey, is this a conflict of interest? It clearly is.
It clearly is.
Or hey, why do you have this guy here when he killed a journalist that was working for an American company? What are we doing?
Crazy that the Crown Prince was more diplomatic about him doing that than Trump was too. He's yeah, we'll make sure it never happens again. Sure, buddy.
His answer was very diplomatic, lying through his teeth. But when he first got asked that, the smile that that on camera he was caught doing, fucking evil, dude.
Yeah.
He just ear to ear grin when he's asked about the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. Evil people.
Because he knows Trump is going to bend over backwards to do whatever, to shit on the journalist, to duck accountability, anything that he can do to, I don't know, secure Jared Kushner's financial future.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Today is Thursday, November 20th, and it's Hiddo.
It's Hiddo. It's another Hiddo. You know, preempting this episode, and maybe I don't even need to preempt it with this anymore. Maybe it's just clear and obvious to you guys, but it's like we used to have to look for news stories. We used to have to look around to search far and wide for, I don't know, some fucking bar in Iowa that's like, I'm doing straight Pride Month in July, not Gay Pride Month.
Throwback, dude.
And now it just comes to me.
Yeah.
Everything just comes to me and it assaults me. And now, instead of looking for the things to talk about, I got to choose what to talk about. Yep. And that's not a good thing.
And it's all just centered on Donald Trump.
Yes.
Literally all of it revolves around Donald Trump. And, you know, maybe this is just because we were like, 15, 16 when Trump first took office or whatever. And so we don't really, and we obviously weren't doing this, so we don't have much of a recollection of what the first administration was like in terms of the media ecosystem. But fuck, dude. It's just a nonstop stream. Like, I'll be in between tasks and I'll learn about a new abuse of human rights that the Trump administration's done. Then I'll have to whip out my phone, go to the notes app and be like, well, got to remember to talk about this the next time we record. Well, it's like, absurd.
My first thought, like when I sat down to actually write the show notes this week or this episode was, fuck, I forgot the government was shut down. Like it feels like the shutdown was so long ago. It feels like it was years ago, but it was last week.
Yeah, we were crashing out like 3 episodes ago.
Exactly. Like, I was fuming at the Democrats, talking about how centrists are the problem. Centrist Democrats are hellspawn. And now I don't even remember what happened, really.
Yeah. Who's Angus King?
Just been a litany of Epstein Files information.
Yeah. And we'll be talking about that today. The man who never dies. Trump is very upset that Epstein continues to be a news item. We got some geopolitical news to go over in terms of Venezuela and Israel and Gaza. And then we got a bunch of extras at the end, some regarding ICE, because ICE is currently in Charlotte, North Carolina, literally going door to door and saying, hey, where were you born?
Insane.
I was watching a video earlier, one that was posted to Twitter, these people just working on a roof, right? Just like doing some roofing.
Because the Supreme Court said they can profile.
ICE agents pull up, one of them obviously full military gear, kitted out. He's like, what's your name? Where were you born?
And then my fucking
lady says Ecuador, and he's like, can I see your passport? It's just crazy, dude. It's just crazy.
That's fucked up. And it's like, isn't roofing one of the most dangerous professions? I know it's more dangerous than being a cop.
Well, a lot of things are more dangerous. Podcasters probably more nowadays, especially with political violence and whatnot.
In this political climate. Whew.
Yeah. No, I put my life on the line every day.
After Joe Biden's fiery rhetoric really turned up the heat, man. Exactly. I don't know.
Bullseye. Anyways, before we get into all of that, lots to talk about today. Become a patron. Early access.
Come on.
You get to duck the ads.
In this climate, early access is damn near a necessity. Because when it comes to the Epstein Files thing, if you're listening and if you listened for at least 2 episodes before, you know that we fucking missed that dumbass vote.
Oh, yeah.
And Mike Johnson did it on purpose. And not only did we miss that vote, did Mike Johnson schedule it so that everyone who's a Wednesday weenie was going to get fucked. But there's another thing scheduled this week that's going to fuck the Friday freeloaders. Yeah. And that's that Zoran Mamdani is meeting with Trump on Friday.
Oh, that's so cool.
They schedule it for Friday, not Thursday morning?
Yeah.
Don't they know they're
supposed
to do these things Wednesday night, Thursday morning?
Yeah.
News is supposed to come out then and Sunday nights.
Well, hopefully Zoran doesn't treat it the same way that our governor treated it.
Real?
Because that shit was absolutely rough
to see. He's gonna hide his face behind a binder?
God, I fucking hope not. Anyway, good luck to Zoran. But if you want early access to all of our stuff, Patreon is the place to go. Even more to the point, that episode becoming outdated immediately. Gage wrote a Substack piece.
Oh my God.
The vote.
It pisses me off,
that was also immediately irrelevant like 12 hours later.
I sat there thinking like, oh my God, I'm cooking with this. I'm going to write this in such a way so that I can post it as soon as the vote comes out. You know, getting on my social media shit.
Yeah.
And I did. And when the vote was going through, I made the necessary adjustments to the take. I had to rewrite a little bit of it because, you know, that's what you do and whatnot. Thinking that whatever, this passed the House, it's not going to get to the Senate for a minute. We'll talk about it later.
Unanimous consent, baby.
Oh my God.
So that's also a shout out for our Substack. Completely free to subscribe. It's a new thing that we're branching out into, and we would love if you would offer some support.
And if you don't want to commit to a monthly subscription on Patreon, remember we do have the option to just purchase an individual episode.
That's true. We don't talk about that
enough. If you don't want to commit to the thing and something crazy happens and you're like, gosh, I really want to check this out, but I do not want another recurring subscription, you could just grab that episode early.
Yeah, $3 for a post. I mean, obviously it's a little bit, it's a worse deal than just becoming a monthly subscriber. for early access. $3 for a post. We wanted to make it $2 for a post. Patreon wouldn't let us.
Ridiculous.
These fucking big tech companies deciding what we can and can't do. $3 for a post, early access if you just want it in that moment, if something big happens and you really want to hear what we have to say. Anyways, that's enough shout outs. Last thing you can do is leave a 5-star review on Apple and on Spotify. No Apple reviews to read today. I guess I'll just go fucking bury my head outside.
That's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous. What are you guys doing? The winter just got cold and you're making it colder.
Exactly.
Apple reviews are like the fire in my hearth that keeps me warm.
I think that's definitely a good way to put it. This first one on Spotify, though, from Dante, 5 out of 5 stars. These boys have been on a generational run, better than Curry and KD Warriors.
Big on this.
These boys have been on my calendar since high school in 2021 and even now in my final years of college. Y'all have been the only people that have been able to keep me grounded in the insane world we live in. As a black dude in Oregon, y'all touch on things that most people miss with takes that are not out of touch with reality. Keep up the work. Y'all can come to the cookout. Fuck yeah. Huge on that. And also crazy to think that we've gotten some people through college.
Yeah, that's insane. We've been doing this for like a minute now.
We started doing this when we were in college.
That's true. We started this our junior year of college, right before.
Yeah.
Wow. Time to change it. Now I'm almost a grown man. Yeah. I'm almost 25. My brain's going to finish wiring. You know, I turned 5. I'm going to switch up. I'm going to switch up instantly. I'm going to be talking about taxes. I'm going to talk about whatever.
Uh-huh. I'm going to be saying you need to get away from debt as soon as I'll be on my David Ramsey shit.
Oh my God.
You cannot be on debt. You need to save and build a home and buy a home immediately.
I'm going to start being like a Caleb Hammer stan, even though that guy is just right-wing pipeline.
Yeah,
but that's
why
a conversation he get the Whitmer for another
interview?
Day.
Anyway.
Dude, fucking insane. Hold on a minute. He gets the Whitmer interview, and then he starts talking about how people take advantage of Snap. Why did she do that?
Yeah.
That's kind of been his thing recently. It's just talking about how people shouldn't be on Snap and whatnot. And I'm sick of motherfuckers that don't understand what the purpose of a social safety net is and who sit there and get so fucking financed brained that they just can't understand that it might be hard for some people.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people just have an inability to understand that like struggle is a thing because they've never experienced it in their own lives. And also like Snap is a corporate subsidy.
Yeah, exactly.
It exists because people aren't getting paid enough.
People always want to get mad at the one person who may or may not be taking advantage of a social safety net program, so they're willing to kick everyone else off of it. Like, it's absolutely absurd to me. I don't understand why people think that way. It's just, whatever.
Yeah, the idea that, like, 42 million Americans are just lazy. Like, you think 42 million people that are mostly working or are just like children, you think that many people are just like lazy and they don't want to work for it? Come on, dog.
Caleb Hammer pisses me off especially because it's like he's the kind of guy, even before he was doing the Snap bullshit, he's the kind of finance guy that goes through and he's like, oh, you're in debt, dedicate every single dollar that you have to paying off that debt. You can't have anything fun. You can't have any enrichment. You can only pay off bills and pay off debt. And it's like, it's good to pay off debt. Don't get me wrong. Don't get in high interest credit card debt, blah, 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 whatever. But it's like he'll sit there and harp on these people for having Spotify premium subscriptions, not even for like whatever ethical thing that Instagram Threads wants to talk about with the Spotify premium subscription, but just for spending $12 a month on that thing that makes them happy and helps to get them through the day. You fucking need enrichment to live. Humans are social animals. And when I was working at the fucking mouse lab, mice needed like 2 pieces of enrichment in their fucking cage if they were alone, or else they'd just be sad and the science wouldn't be valid.
Yeah.
You can't just be a living thing that just subsists.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I grew up with animals. I had a dog when I was younger. My mom has a dog and 2 cats now. I have a cat here that occasionally is on the podcast for you all to see. And throughout my life, I've always been told by like vets and people that know animals that like you got to play with them.
Yes.
Not because it's like just a frivolous thing that you do, but because they're living things that need entertainment.
Yeah.
To live.
You literally need enrichment. Like it's something that happens if you put a human in a box and give them, I don't know, fucking porridge and water every single day in a stark white box, they'll go fucking crazy and beat their head in. I'm sorry. I just hate that kind of personal finance. But back to the Spotify reviews. This one from Cam2214. 1 quadrillion stars out of 10. Hello from the lovely city of Charlotte. As a black dude with a hardcore conservative dad, yeah, I know it's wild. I must say you white boys are all right. Having had listened to the Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck shows back in the day with my pop, when my pop scooped me from school.
Dude, what the fuck is this guy, Herschel Walker's kid?
You guys really are a breath of fresh air, especially since you're the first political podcast I've indulged in. Keep up the amazing work, and oh yeah, I condemn Hamas and all forms of political violence. Keep up that amazing support.
This next one from Cadaver 10 out of 10 unanimous consenting stars. As always, never a wrong take from both of you guys or your condemnation of Hamas and all political violence. Sadly, I feel anyone the Democrats may have after the release of the Epstein Files, just like with Trump and Bubba, they will blow and leave everyone with a bad taste in their mouth. So true. Just many layers to that review. Nice.
This next one from Griffin, 427 to 1 stars out of 427 to 1 stars.
Shout out
Clay Higgins really taking a stand. It's like that painting, that Norman Rockwell painting.
Yeah.
Thanks for keeping me sane and informed. I work at a woke independent movie theater, and my boss and I always discuss your show on shift. Keep it up, a fan from VA.
Hey, we got the bosses listening?
There? Dude, fuck yeah.
I'm an enemy of the managerial class.
Type shit.
What do you mean your boss is listening?
You and your petite bourgeois boss are always talking about
Yeah, which side of the picket line are they on, dog? Huh?
Yeah, come on.
You know what I mean? That's how you decide whose side they're really on.
About to alienate a listener.
Do we got any more in here? One more on here, I believe. Robbie Parker, 5 out of 5 instances of head in the office for these two. Honestly, yeah, for these two generational head givers. Whoa.
Whoa, now.
Gives
and
great
knowledge, knowledge.
I got it. Gives me great head twice a week. And I buzz. MS-13 compliance is whatever.
Man, the people that skip the reviews every week, y'all are missing out. I swear to God.
No, there is a dip. We've seen it in the retention data. People,
I know who you are, motherfucker.
Fast forward. I believe that brings us to the news cycle here. Although I will give a shout out to Olive's comment, 89-year mortgage. Apparently, somebody left a comment that apparently Japan has a 90-year mortgage.
Bro, what the fuck are we doing?
And everybody is still suffering because of it.
Awesome.
Even though Japan has far better housing policies than we do in terms of how quick they can build it and how available it is, because we are especially bad at that. But 90-year mortgage?
90-year mortgage, that's fuck. Motherfuckers don't even live to 90.
You might as well just have public housing that the government owns and leases to you for free at that point.
No, for real.
Because you don't own it anyways.
The bank owns everything at that point.
And by the time you can even get the house, you're not going to live 90 years.
Literally. Literally.
By the time you're maybe 25, you're not going to live 90 more years.
You're going to live to 115?
Yeah.
Pay off that. Guys, I'm finally out of debt. Guys, I finally did it.
I'm only alive so that I can get out of debt.
Me and Trump's economy. Me and Trump's economy. Speaking of Trump, we got to get into the actual news this time. We got to talk about Epstein right off the top of the show. It's the biggest thing.
The guy who never dies.
The guy who never dies still won't die. We're still talking about the Epstein hoax, and frankly, I can't believe it. But as literally all of you know by now, the curse of the news cycle hit again a day after we recorded that last show. The House voted to approve the Epstein Files Transparency Act 427 to 1.
Yeah.
Clay Higgins from Louisiana was the sole Republican that voted no. And Mike Johnson himself even went and voted yes, even though he was complaining about it and bitching about it on the Hill all morning, saying, I've got a lot of problems with this bill.
And then he was really mad about the Senate passing it unanimously as well, which is really
crazy.
Awesome. The dam really broke on this one in a way that, of course, if you listen to the Monday recording, we did not expect. I was fully on board with Ro Khanna's estimate of 40 Republicans.
That's what I think. Yeah, it's damn near embarrassing.
But almost a unanimous passage. I know there's a couple of abstainers too, I believe. But
in the House, there were 5 people that didn't show up to vote or just weren't there to vote. There were some articles talking about the reasons why, but whatever.
When you've lost John James. When you've lost John James put his name on the side of the yeses here. Wow.
And it's just obviously hours later, the House went on to just unanimously consent to, as soon as the bill arrives at the Senate, pass it and send it to Trump. They did not want to fuck with any of this at all whatsoever, as we'll talk about in a little bit. But it's and then Trump signed it.
Yeah.
Trump signed it, I believe, Wednesday night, a day later. So it's Clay Higgins, bro.
Yeah.
This is the thing you want to make a name for yourself on? The Epstein Files. Voting no to release the Epstein Files is the thing where you're I think I want to be different here.
Wasn't his complaint that it's not going to protect the victims? And it's someone should check his hard drive. Check that man's hard drive.
He talked about not protecting the victims, and he talked about setting a precedent that we can just release everything all the time for any justice thing, and it was going to destroy the justice system. He basically parroted all of the things that Mike Johnson was saying, but Mike Johnson voted for it. Clay, bro, did you not get the memo? Yeah. I'm sorry, but
he just hasn't been keeping up.
What are you doing? Why is this the one time you stand on business?
Yeah, no, it's bizarre to me. Shout out Clay Higgins. I hope the FBI goes through his congressional laptop, his computer. Somebody should raid his house, check if he's got anything on there, because that's crazy.
Yeah, no. So after Trump signed it Wednesday night, he then tried to take credit for literally everything on social media, saying, quote, this is just a part of the very long truth tweet that was very rambly. But he said, quote, perhaps the truth about these Democrats and their association with Jeffrey Epstein will soon be revealed, because I have just signed the bill to release the Epstein Files. As everyone knows, I asked Speaker of the House Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Leader John Thune to pass the bill in the House and Senate, respectively. Because of this request, the vote was almost unanimous in favor of passage.
Brother, come on.
Like, I know you all don't need to be reminded, but I'm going to remind all of you every way. The point of this bill was to compel Trump to release these files. It was to literally force the Department of Justice to release the files.
Because he wouldn't do it himself.
Trump could have done this at any moment.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he thinks he can get away with taking credit for this bill.
Yeah.
And it's like, I thought that was going to be something that we were going to have to harp on for a while. The idea that, like, blah, 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 compelled the forced passage, like he could have done this all the time, or even like the shit with the DOJ investigation that we'll talk more about later. But it seems like that's already penetrated everyone. Mm-hmm. Everyone who's talking about this, everyone who knows about Epstein knows that Trump is doing things to, like, try and hide it. Yeah. They know about the DOJ investigation scheme. They know that Trump could have released these at any time. Nobody's falling for it.
Yeah, no, people do have a short memory, and Trump is able to get away with shit like this a lot, but I don't think it's possible on this issue, because he's been working so hard, so publicly against the release of these files since, like, his administration began, really. Like, I don't know how anybody falls for this, especially because, like, we got those emails. Was that this week? Was that earlier this week we got these emails? It's been a year this week.
Bubba emails? No, that was last week. Bubba was on Friday.
Okay, we got
that was
Bubba.
The news cycle screwing us again.
We got Bubba last Friday. And then the full 20,000 emails were released, and Donald Trump's name was the most common.
Yeah.
Other than, like, Epstein, of course, in his emails. But, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And again, Trump's former personal attorney, Todd Blanche, current deputy attorney general, met with Ghislaine Maxwell, and now she gets a luxury treatment in a federal prison, like, low security federal prison.
That's the most obvious thing ever.
Come on, man. And she's working on a commutation application. Mm-hmm. The warden's helping her with documents.
And it's like with the Bubba emails and the stuff that came out last week, a part that, like, really stuck with me was the Virginia Giuffre stuff.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing. Like, I saw Caroline Levitt on some, like, shit-ass podcast talking about this. And she's like, the Democrats selectively cherry-picked emails to release that would make Trump look bad, and they redacted the name of the victim so that they could make him look even worse. And it's like, Mike Johnson has been on the Hill for, I guess, the last week, forever, talking about how this does not protect the names of the victims. Mm-hmm. The bill is written so that the victims' names can be redacted. The victims' names and identifying information can be redacted because nobody wants the victims to be revealed. Mm-hmm. But the GOP revealed the name of this victim as soon as it was politically convenient for them to do so. Uh-huh. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
And it doesn't even exonerate him.
No, it doesn't. Not at all.
And Loki just raises more questions.
Exactly.
and that's why, like, I'm not, like, too pessimistic about this, because I do think what's most likely to happen in the immediate future is some documents are released and they're heavily redacted under the pretext of a current investigation happening at the DOJ. Yes. But in doing that, they're just going to make everybody more suspicious, because under every black bar could be Donald Trump's name.
No, exactly. Like, I'm telling you, like, the only thing, or even anyone else's name, under every black bar could be fucking James Comey, Barack Obama, and Bill Clinton's name if you're a fucking conservative, right?
Yeah, not Joe Biden, though, because he didn't have the motion to get invited to this stuff.
Precisely. He was too busy worrying about the crime bill or some dumb shit like that. But either way, like, with the redactions, no matter what happens, any redaction is going to raise questions. Mm-hmm. The only way to clear everybody's name or anyone's name who is worried about this is to release the full files. Yeah. And that's not going to happen because, I mean, even as it's written right now, the bill gives the Justice Department 30 days before they have to hand over everything they have in digital and downloadable format. And, like, as we know, there are the contents, there's the thing with the ongoing investigation, there's going to be redactions. Mm-hmm. You can also, the bill also allows them to redact things for national security threats. Yeah. So it's like, oh, we're not going to get the names of foreign leaders that were on. Maybe Prince Andrew didn't have to be stripped of his titles, allegedly.
Yeah. No, I mean, and they can just say that, like, Trump having his name revealed in these files would constitute a national security threat.
Exactly. There's a lot of things that they can do to keep Trump's name off these files. Yeah. And again, I'm sticking to my analysis from before and in the Substack article that, like, they're going to do everything they can to get Trump's name off these files. but it's going to backfire on them.
Yeah, no, the walls are closing in. Everything they do that isn't just actual transparency looks incredibly suspicious.
There is no redaction that they will be able to get away with that's not under like a heightened level of scrutiny from literally everyone, dude. Nobody likes this.
Yeah.
Nobody likes this at all.
Yeah, I genuinely cannot believe he thinks people are stupid enough to believe that he is the one that is going for transparency here, that he had anything to do with the passage of this bill other than working against it consistently. It's just crazy.
And it's like not even Fox News is like biting, right? Like
Yeah.
I saw some Fox News like footage and they were just talking about how like, oh, the Democrats had 4 years to do this. Why didn't they? And it's like, sure, why didn't they? But it's like, why didn't the Democrats? Why doesn't Trump?
Yeah.
The Democrats aren't around anymore. They can't do anything anymore. You can say Joe Biden should have done something. There wasn't as much of a public uproar because Joe Biden didn't fucking run on it.
Yeah.
I still think that's some deep state bullshit. I can sit here and condemn Joe Biden for not doing that. But the fact of the matter is, Democrats don't control any part of government right now.
Yeah.
It is all up to Donald Trump and Pam Bondi to release these files and get this information out like they promised to do.
Yeah, like, why didn't Joe Biden do it? He should have.
Exactly.
Like, and that's just my position is that, like, yeah, it was a fumble for him not to do it. And the reason he didn't do it, or the reason that he probably had advisors that told him not to, or they didn't even consider it, is probably because some Democrats, some elite Democrats, are implicated in the files.
Yeah, like Larry Sumner's or whatever his name
Exactly.
is. Yeah.
It's the same reason that Trump doesn't want to release the files, because doing so would implicate him and other like elite conservative Republican types.
And it was kind of just like common understanding that like war and Epstein are the only two bipartisan things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just a thing where the elites wanted to cover it up. And I hate phrasing it like that because I feel like I sound like a QAnoner and
Yeah.
it just feels awful. But it's kind of like, yeah, that's what it was. And then Trump intentionally like allowed people who were orbiting around him to kick up this fervor during the election and fucking look where it got him.
I mean, like with QAnon, with like every type of conspiracy theory, there's like a kernel of truth in it, in the sense that like the sentiment and the frustration and the suspicion is warranted. They just don't know where to direct it.
Yeah.
So they invent like crazy shit to justify their beliefs or confirm their priors, when really you should be looking at dudes like Donald Trump. And like people aren't capable of doing that because they think that Trump heralded or should be heralding the end of the deep state, what they understand to be people with connections to Epstein. But it's like the dude who's got connections to Epstein, apparently more than anybody, is in the White House right now.
No, literally.
He's the guy you've been supporting. You were wrong about him.
He's right there.
Yeah.
Dude that's named all the time. Dude that Epstein himself called a pervert. Whoa.
Yeah, Epstein himself was like, this guy is evil.
Like, whoa. And I've seen conservatives try to come out and say, like, oh, Jeffrey Epstein called him evil. What a great judge of character. It's like, yeah, dude, I don't know. When the most evil guy calls you a bad guy, I think that's a bad sign. And it's not like Lex Luthor was going around calling Superman like a bad guy for saving you. He just didn't like him.
Yeah. So that's
but
crazy.
the biggest surprise for me throughout all of this was the Senate.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody was going to be able to predict that unanimous consent was going to be granted and that every single senator was going to get on board with immediately passing this bill through them.
I know, yeah.
That's fucking insane.
People were clowning on us for saying, no way they get 13 votes.
Exactly.
They got all of them.
Like guys, like I feel like it was like valid. Like it was valid analysis like beforehand. Like I feel like all the signals were like pointing to that way. But
I think once again, like I got caught thinking that Trump actually had a strategy here.
Me too.
I thought he came out in support of the bill because he wanted to save face. The Republican Party just couldn't keep up the pressure in the House because of people like Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene. It was going to pass no matter what. Trump comes out to save face because I thought there was going to be a roadblock in the Senate that would prevent him actually having to make good on what he said.
Yeah, or that there would be massive amendments that allow for more redactions to make it easier for Trump to like hide himself or anyone else that may be implicated in the files.
I think they might have genuinely just had no plan for this.
Yeah.
I think they just didn't have a strategy.
Well, I think ultimately my flaw in like trying to think about this beforehand was thinking that every conservative was equally willing to like fall on the sword to protect Donald Trump, and that just isn't the case.
Yeah. No, we're analyzing them like liberals analyze the moderate voter or the
Exactly.
median voter.
Yeah.
It's like we cannot apply rational thought to these people.
No, ridiculous. And I mean, maybe it is like a little rational from John Thune because it's like, you think about it, like the House for months, the House and Donald Trump have been at the center of this battle. They've constantly been getting negative PR. Mike Johnson has just been being a good little boy for Donald Trump and going through and burning his own credibility, saying the craziest shit, doing the most evil thing,
Pulling up to the commander's game,
trying to duck accountability for pedophiles.
Yup.
and the Senate hasn't really been implicated in anything. Why would they want to cop that negative PR for themselves?
I don't know. I think it's being diffused across the entire Republican Party, though. Like, I don't think there's any getting away from it.
I think so, too. But I think there is something to say about, like, individual people. Because, I mean, that's why we had the overwhelming vote, other than Clay Higgins. Individual people don't want to have to go to their constituents and say, I voted no to release the Epstein files because,
Yeah, and in this way, they don't have to put their vote on record. Like, obviously, here they're all giving unanimous consent so it passes, but you can conceive of, if they actually took it to a vote, had to get past the filibuster, there might have been a number of people that said no.
Yeah.
And then they have their names attached to that. But like, unanimous consent avoids all of that.
I think like John Thune and like Senate Republicans took away the lesson that like this just isn't a battle that's worth fighting for a guy that's actively tanking. Like this, the Epstein thing is, barring, I don't know, something major, is probably going to be the biggest thing out of this presidency.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And maybe that's going to be a crazy take in 2 years right now when Dictator Trump took over everything and we got to close shop on the podcast. But like, but like as of now, at least, it's hard to imagine that anything is bigger than this.
Yeah, no, I mean, much like with like Joe Biden and Gaza, right? Like Joe Biden did a bunch of other stuff that we celebrated on this show, but Gaza overshadows literally all of it for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's the fucking pedophile king. It's the pedophile king, pedophile queen, and the most powerful and richest people in the world entangled in this web of pedophile island.
Yep.
You can't write that. You can't make that up. That sounds like a QAnon plot, but it's just reality.
Like Trump in those emails that dropped last Friday was described as running into a glass door because he saw girls. I don't know if they were teenage, but like young women outside, or young girls outside in a pool. Like his nose print was against the glass door.
Like it's Looney Tunes.
He's cartoon like of horny.
Like he's smelling pie and floating over. Like what's going on? It's ridiculous. That's how this guy was described. Yeah. He himself has like said, "Oh yeah, Epstein, like we love young women and whatnot." It's all about young women. Young women this, young women that. They had him and Epstein were reported to have that calendar party, like calendar girl party, all with young women.
Well, like Trump was publicly like a beauty pageant guy.
Exactly.
Like that shit. Anybody involved in the beauty pageants, any adult should have their hard drive searched immediately, because that shit is weird.
Wasn't there that thing where he like wanted to go into the locker room at the beauty pageant or something?
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember the exact details, but either way, like. This guy's weird.
This guy's weird.
This guy's
problematic.
Weird, to say the least. He's weird. He's problematic. He's in court found liable to have done bad things with women. Come on now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Not making it, not saying anything. I'm just saying there might be allegedly an implication.
Well, I'm just asking questions.
I'm just asking questions. That's all that's going on right now. And I think everyone should be just asking questions. And I think maybe, I don't know if I was like wrong to assume, I kind of want to make the conclusion that like the pressure of the near unanimous vote from the House is what compelled the Senate to do this. But considering the speed and the swiftness that it went through, I feel like they were just always kind of planning on ducking this.
Maybe, yeah.
John Thune, when I think about it, never came out and talked about this issue. And anytime he was pressed on it, he was just like, maybe not.
Well, I think John Barrasso, which I think is like second in command to John Thune.
He's the whip.
He said something about like not bringing it to a vote, or we haven't discussed
it. He didn't commit.
To
bringing it to a vote. Right. He was asked about it and he didn't commit to doing anything. So I thought that was a bad sign. But it's like, shit, I guess in hindsight, you can look at the actions that were committed by like Senate majority leadership and see that like they were never going to take on this fight. I think they were always just going to kind of swiftly and pass it through. And I think Mike Johnson must feel like a real big dummy right now.
Yeah.
Rip bozo, dude. Bro got thuned.
And like this me when I get thuned.
Me when I get thuned.
And like I do have to press that this is not a moment of bipartisanship, right?
No.
This is a moment of overwhelming public pressure working against the Republican Party and forcing their hand. This has nothing to do with like reaching across the aisle. There were a couple Republicans like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, who like went along with this, signed onto the petition specifically because like that's what they ran their campaigns on.
They're the only ones that deserve any credit for this if you're giving any credit at all to Republicans.
Yeah.
Because they did break the party pressure. They did break the party line. They did go against Trump, which is something that doesn't really happen all that often, to get this done.
But this was not a moment where bipartisanship shone through. It's a moment where the public grabbed Republicans by the balls and said, do this.
You have to.
And they did. They were forced to against their will. And I think that's an excellent thing for democracy.
No, that's good. That's what democracy is all about. It's like representatives representing people, except for Clay Higgins.
Yeah, your representatives, all of them, from Congress all the way down to the local level, are supposed to be beneath you.
Yeah.
They serve you. They work for you.
They're
they get
public
paid by
servants.
you.
You're the public.
Exactly.
So that's all that this is.
You have every right to be a dickhead to them and call them whatever you want and force them to act in accordance with the public will, which is releasing these files.
We've got the podcast. We've got the TikToks. Long form, short form. What about mid form?
We need that mid form.
We need mid form that's not mid. And that's why you should check out the Head in the Office Substack.
Absolutely. If you're a fan of the written word, if you're a fan of prose, if you're a fan of compelling writing, then you have to check out the Substack, headintheoffice.substack.com. You can find all of our think pieces, all of our opinions, and all of our summaries of the latest breaking news.
In an infinitely more shareable format than this show.
That's right.
But I do want to take a moment to dive deeper into Mike Johnson here.
Because
it's like Mike Johnson got thuned like real big. You know, Mike Lil Johnson got thuned by John Thick and Nasty Thune.
Oh my God. And for months we've been saying like John Thune is just a non-entity.
And maybe he's just working in the shadows.
But maybe, he might just be a sleeper agent.
He might be, because it's like, I don't know. I saw some analysis talking about how like John Thune may be positioning himself to be like a guy in an era without Trump. And it seems like when the GOP fractures, it breaks, right? They can't do anything without being behind Trump right now. Trump can't get anything done without unanimous consent from basically everyone in the GOP. And when something like this so obviously happens, it's just, what are you going to do? Trump is only in office, like, as of now, as we understand, as, like, you know, the law allows, for another 3 years. There's going to be a world after him. He's also just, like, old.
He's old as hell.
Like he's also just old. He's not going to be around forever. The Republican Party cannot consistently rely on him to be a kingmaker in the way that he is right now and be just the full leader of the party unless they want to throw their weight behind Don Jr.
Yeah.
Hey, come on now. That's not fucking happening. That dude is going to, I don't know, fuck off somewhere with his camo Crocs. You know what I'm saying? So there's got to be like new, and I feel like maybe this is a hint of conservatives like John Thune looking at the winds, seeing where they're going, and deciding that maybe this is how we'll suddenly make a stand. Not to say that John Thune is good or cool at all, because he's not. He's only cool in relation to Mike Johnson.
I mean, if Republicans were about it, they could start pushing harder, and this could be like the end of Donald Trump.
I don't know if it's going to get that crazy, because nothing else is the Epstein Files. You know what I mean? Like
but that's what I mean. That's what I mean for the Epstein Files. Like they could go just as hard as people like Jamie Raskin and Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie are.
That'd be beautiful.
The rest of them could go hard, and they could have a sort of like Watergate moment, because tons of Republicans came out against Nixon in that moment. And although they lost the following election, at least they were able to keep some of their image as not like openly corrupt political actors.
Well, now, you're right. Now would be the exact time for that too, especially now that everyone except for Clay Higgins has their name on record voting for this, is in public talking about how like, blah, 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 this is a good thing, except for fucking Mike Johnson, who we're going to talk about in a little bit. They have an excuse to actually like break with the president when they get files that are redacted. And when they get things that are going, and they have an excuse to continue that pressure campaign. Because I mean, realistically, like a lot of these senators aren't going to be implicated. Maybe a couple of them, if any, are, like that one lady who was apparently like texting Jeffrey Epstein during a committee hearing and asking questions he was telling him to act. But like very few of them are going to be implicated in whatever's going on.
Wasn't that a Democrat too?
It was a Democrat.
That's crazy,
like,
man.
what the fuck are we doing, man? The Epstein thing, it's bipartisan. I say get them all. You know what I mean? But that's what's going to happen. But I really want to talk about Mike Johnson here. This is part of why the Senate is so surprising. This is what Mike Johnson had to say after the House passed the bill and before we knew anything about what the Senate was up to. He said we would, quote, insist upon changes and, quote, I talked to John Thune over the weekend. I just texted him. We're going to get together. We'll talk about this. There's an easy way to amend the legislation to make sure we don't do permanent damage to the justice system, and I'm going to insist upon that. Further, from Politico, when Johnson was asked if he would press Trump to veto the bill if the Senate did an amendment, Johnson said he would, quote, cross the bridge if necessary. He also raised national security concerns about the bill Tuesday. Bro was ready to go all 12 rounds to shield pedophiles from accountability. And John Thune just was not on the same page.
John Thune with the girth and tonnage, dude.
He just stayed quiet. He just stayed quiet and let Mike Johnson assume.
That's awesome.
That's the most lil bro thing he could have done. He big bro'd him. That's insane, man. That's so sick. And Mike Johnson's got to be feeling like a dumbass bozo right now.
Yeah, and you're right. John Thune was saying, but I heard nothing from him this entire
he's been
thing.
Quiet
since this became a controversy, like back in February. I haven't heard John Thune say a damn word about Jeffrey Epstein.
I forget that John Thune is around.
Exactly. We only heard about him because of the shutdown shit.
And even during the shutdown, he wasn't going crazy like party line. He was obviously doing the party line thing, but like he doesn't make a fool of himself like Mike Johnson does and like Donald Trump does. And it's interesting to see how that's going to like develop as we continue through the administration.
Yeah. And when Mike Johnson was getting like pressed about this in the halls of Congress, when he was like walking around the Capitol, he was flustered, dude.
Yes,
he was so mad about the Senate. It was awesome.
No, it's dope. Again, from Politico, earlier this week, Johnson told reporters he had received some comfort from the Senate that the chamber would make the changes, but Thune never publicly indicated he expected the Senate to revise the bill, and even warned earlier Tuesday that changes were unlikely.
Dude.
If that's not a big dicking, I don't know what is.
That's awesome, man.
I don't know what is,
Not to give it to John Thune, but that's I love to see Mike Johnson lose.
Because he sucks so bad.
Yeah.
Because it's like, even when John Thune became the majority leader, like, nothing crazy came out about him.
No.
He wasn't writing op-eds about how gay people should fuck off and not be able to get married or whatever back when he was in college or some shit.
He might believe that, though.
He might believe it, but he wasn't a psychopath publicly about it.
Yeah, writing op-eds.
Exactly.
Putting pen to paper,
come on, man. Mike Johnson is a creature.
Yeah, no, Mike Johnson's a creature. He makes his son monitor his porn intake. It's wicked. And I love to see Mike, because Mike Johnson usually gets his way.
Yeah.
Like, he's usually the one just beneath Donald Trump that gets to like decide how things are going to play out. And this time he got big broed.
And it's like he tries so hard.
Yeah, he does.
Like, Mike Johnson tries so hard, and it's fucking pathetic. Like, this display from Mike Johnson about this bill has been absolutely pathetic. When I was watching the C-SPAN to see when the vote was going to come up, or I was looking at some other articles to see if other information came out in the morning, I came across this thing. I think CBS was doing a thing, and Mike Johnson was on Capitol Hill, and he's like, here's 5 reasons. Like, it's a fucking BuzzFeed article. He goes, here's 5 reasons why we shouldn't pass this bill, blah, blah, blah. I didn't fucking listen. I tuned it out because I was writing. But still, that's corny, dog. Just to then be like, but I'm still going to vote for it. Like, you're being cucked actively by some wicked force, dude. Oh, my goodness.
It's just the Republican desire to protect pedophiles is too strong.
Exactly.
They just have to do it. It's a natural inclination for them.
Yeah, no. Then Trump signed the bill, which, like, it honestly wasn't a surprise. He said he was going to go sign the bill, and I mean, like, he has to. Could you imagine if he didn't?
Dude, the veto would be so sick.
Could you imagine if he didn't? Especially, it was passed with veto-proof majorities.
Veto-proof? Yeah, no, he would have gotten embarrassed.
There's nothing that he could have fucking done. He literally had to do this.
And I don't think pocket veto was available since Congress wasn't going to adjourn in the next 10 days. So he had to do something about it. And it was either veto and get embarrassed or sign the bill into law and act like this is what you want. And he chose the latter. Like,
Trump and Mike Johnson are kind of like on an island right now when it comes to the people who are going the hardest. With Clay.
With Clay Higgins.
Dude, why would you ever put yourself in a position?
I think he might have just not got the memo. Like, I think he might have showed up to work not knowing what was happening, and he's like, "Oh, we're against this still, right?"
It's like if there were a group of guys that, like, I don't know, the orphanage was being burned down, and they went and saved everybody in there, and they're like, "Oh, Gage, you were part of that too," and I was like, "No." Like, "Oh yeah, for sure, yeah." Like, why are you taking a stand against something like this?
Maybe, I mean, like, H is pretty early in the alphabet. Maybe he expected more people to vote no, and then throughout the vote, he was just like, guys.
Well, I was watching the vote, and it was tallying it up, and it came out like towards the end.
Yeah.
Like, he had seen that, like, hundreds of representatives voted yes before him from both parties. And he's like, nah, I got this.
Oh,
he's
maybe.
like, I'm going to change some minds.
I mean, if he's genuinely standing on principle, then I do think someone needs to check his computer. Because that's a red flag. If he had just been dumb and forgot, then maybe, but holy moly, man.
He had just been dumb and forgot, man. What a guy. I mean, he went and defended himself on Twitter afterwards. He released a statement.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm saying I hit the wrong button.
Yeah, no, exactly. I would have voted for this. I was in favor of this.
I mean, guys, look at it. 427-1. Why would I be that guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Clearly, I hit the wrong button. Clearly, I did the wrong thing.
That's more believable.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyways, I believe that's the end of the
that's the end of Epstein stuff. Hopefully, we see things come out. Pam Bondi said things will come out. They got 30 days to get everything out there. I cannot wait to see what gets redacted.
Oh man, it's gonna be wicked.
I can't wait till we see. There's gonna be at least one page that's just all black, and
it's gonna. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of that, at least at first.
At least, for sure.
Yeah.
But oh my god, it's gonna be so good.
It really does feel like the walls are closing in. There's not much he can do about this. And it's only a matter of time.
Because it's like, it's hard to just like take a situation like this and just like imagine. Like there's like it's like the paradox of choice, right? The more choices that you have, the harder it is to like make a choice. When you limit the aspect of choices you have, it's easier to choose between like a smaller set of things.
Yeah.
When you're given like a blank canvas, it's hard to like figure out what's going on, what you should paint. But when you're given a prompt, way easier. the redactions are just going to be a blank. Like it's like the small redactions are going to be narrowing the canvas so that people can really focus in and be like, fucking Trump did it.
Yep.
Fucking Bill Clinton did it. Something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a lot of that, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Until then, we should focus on Trump's other shenanigans.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, guys.
Namely the geopolitical shenanigans, because we are, of course, the #1 geopolitical podcast.
Don't forget it.
And we're going to start south of the American border with a country called Venezuela.
Yeah.
Narco-terrorist state.
Narco-terrorist state taken over by TDA, Tren de Aragua, if you didn't know.
They're the ones sending fentanyl into the country, and fentanyl is also a chemical weapon.
And if you touch it, you'll have a seizure.
Exactly. So Trump's illegal strikes on boats off the coast of Venezuela continues, with the death total now surpassing 80 people.
What the fuck are we doing?
Since September, our government, using our money, of course, because that's what they do, has targeted 21 boats in the Caribbean and extrajudicially murdered 80 people. Actually, nice. I think the number I saw today was 82. I want you all to recall that the entire basis of these strikes, because we've talked about this a few times, is to stop the flow of fentanyl into the United States. But fentanyl, of course, comes from labs in Mexico with precursors that are imported from China, not Venezuela.
Venezuela.
Venezuela is actually not that big of a party to the drug trade in Latin America.
Nice.
Which might surprise you. It's now confirmed that none of the boats have had fentanyl on them.
Confirmed?
Confirmed by military officials that were briefing Congress. Not a single one of them had fentanyl. They had cocaine, but not fentanyl.
They confirmed it.
Yeah.
Some of it, did all of them have cocaine? Like, what's the deal with that?
Oh, I don't know. But none of them had fentanyl. So it's the pretext is just a lie, which we've known.
Yeah, of course.
But it's crazy for military officials to be like, yeah, this shit is just all wrong.
Is this what spawned, we'll talk about it later, is this what spawned the Slotkin video?
Maybe.
The disobey, you don't have to obey unlawful orders or whatnot?
I'm not sure, but this was very recent. Military officials were briefing Congress, and they were asked about Venezuela, and they said that there's been no fentanyl on the boats. Of course, the government provided no data or evidence beforehand that there was, and of course, as I said before, Venezuela doesn't really take part in the fentanyl trade. We were drawing our own conclusions, but here now military officials are saying that this just wasn't a thing.
God damn, man. Fucking what a government we have, man.
Of course, as we've concluded before, this appears to be an attempt to oust the Maduro regime, which has been a sort of pet project for Trump since his first administration, really. But of course, it's been
I think
amped
I had
up since
seen
then.
We had just moved like one of our most advanced warships to Venezuela.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think you move like the largest aircraft carrier in the world off the coast of Venezuela to get some drug boats.
Hey guys, we're moving the Death Star to this planet, but don't worry about it though.
Yeah, and I'll get into the numbers in a bit, but we have way more people than would be necessary to get a couple of drug boats. We have the people necessary, at least I think, to do a land invasion, maybe.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Which seems to be what's coming. But fantastic quote from CNN as they were just sane-washing this monstrosity. Quote, Trump said last month that he had authorized the CIA to operate in the country, Venezuela, but administration officials told lawmakers this month that the U.S. didn't have a legal justification that would support attacks against any land targets, though it is possible they could generate one.
Come on, man.
So that's very cool.
Dude, everything sucks so hard.
Yeah, so we're planning to go to war with Venezuela. I do want to remind people, because it's been a couple of episodes since we talked about it, their legal justifications thus far have consisted of, at first, nothing, then saying Maduro is a narco-terrorist, then saying it's international waters, so we can do whatever we want, and then most recently, when we talked about it a few episodes ago, it was saying drug boats can't shoot back, so it's fine.
Oh yeah,
and now the legal justification is one that they're trying to generate, I guess.
Dude, the drug boats can't shoot back thing is like so funny because it was like that's how they got around like not having to be approved to go to war.
Yeah.
Is we can just kill people because we can.
Yeah, no, like obviously we said this back when we talked about it the first
Spiritually
time.
IDF.
Spiritually IDF, but also like if another country did that to us, we would treat it as an aggression.
Oh,
right?
we'd fucking nuke them.
We would treat it as an act of war if they just attacked us, even though it was like a drone that we couldn't shoot back at. Like we know what this is.
Yes,
it's plain and simple. And Trump and Hegseth have been speaking about this since September in terms of quote unquote waging war on the cartels. So it's like they're using the word war. They're implying war. They're building up a bunch of forces that would suggest we're about to go to war, but they still have not provided legal justification, and they still haven't gone to Congress seeking authorization to do this.
They've built like a lot of what this administration is doing around the idea that like Venezuela is a narco-terrorist state. Like it's not just like a joke or like an exaggeration that we're making. Trump is trying to genuinely claim, like with mass deportations and the Alien Enemies Act, that Venezuela has been taken over by criminal gangs that are trying to wage war in the U.S. and send foreign agents into the country and do an invasion.
Yeah.
Like this is a legal theory, if you can even call it that they are actively, seriously trying to advance.
Yeah, and like his own intelligence community doesn't think that TDA has like invaded or has taken control of the Maduro
Because of course
government.
they didn't.
Because of course they haven't. And to that point, Marco Rubio is about to designate the Cartel of the Suns to be a terrorist organization led by Nicolas Maduro. The issue is that it's not real.
Led by what?
The Cartel of the Suns is not a real thing. It is a moniker that journalists came up with to describe some Venezuelan government officials that were corrupt and involved in the drug trade in like the 90s. And it was called the Cartel of the Suns because they had like sun emblems on their uniforms. It's not a real thing. And Marco Rubio is going to say Nicolas Maduro is at the head of the Cartel of Suns as a way to like provide the pretext for doing an invasion. It's fucking crazy. It is crazy. And from The Intercept, as I said, it's a loose term that was invented by reporters. But because it's such like an amorphous, vacuous thing, it essentially allows you to take any action you want against them. Because you're naming Nicolas Maduro as the head, but you haven't described the organization who's actually a part of it. You can essentially find anybody you want and say, oh, they're a part of the Cartel of the Suns. Therefore, our action against them is justified. Not that holds up legally, but that's what they're going to say, right?
Yeah, no, because I mean, that's what this administration does. They advance like any like technically type of like crackpot legal theory to say that they can do whatever they want. It's what Stephen Miller tries to do with these mass deportations. What they're trying to do with Venezuela. It's what they try to do all the time. They're like sovereign citizens.
Yeah,
they're like these guys that get pulled over cops and they're like, I'm not driving, I'm traveling. I'm not driving, I'm traveling. I don't need my seatbelt on. Like, are you serious, dude? They're the lamest. That's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's just like when they cited that like 1787 law.
Yeah,
to
the
justify
Alien Enemies Act.
Yeah, exactly. But more on what we've been doing on the border of Venezuela, or right outside the coast of Venezuela, aside from killing fishermen. From CNN, quote, the U.S. has amassed roughly 15,000 military personnel in the region.
15,000?
Yeah, in addition to the largest aircraft carrier in the world that we own being deployed to Venezuela, to the coast of Venezuela. So 15,000 military personnel in the region, alongside more than a dozen warships, including cruiser, destroyers, and air and missile defense command ship, amphibious assault vessels, and an attack submarine. It has also deployed 10 F-35 fighter jets to Puerto Rico, which has become a hub for the U.S. military as a part of the increased focus on the Caribbean.
Dude, I swear to God, like the next headline we're going to see is U.S. military starts lining up blood bags at the border of Venezuela. Like, come on, man. It's like when Russia was lining up on the border to Ukraine. We're just putting tanks there.
It's just military exercises.
We're just doing an exercise on the thing where we have a bunch of like spare blood bags and a bunch of military equipment. We're not going to do anything.
Yeah, as we always say, nobody amasses troops. Nobody builds up a military force in a certain region just to not use it.
Yeah.
There's a reason that we would send 15,000 military personnel who we are paying. The government is now open to off the coast of Venezuela. There's a reason that they were sent there. And it's because we want to do shit with them. It's fucking awful. All on this faulty pretext that Venezuela is a narco-terrorist state that don't even have that much to do with the drug trade. Most of the drugs go through like Colombia and Ecuador and Mexico.
And this is like Trump. No new wars president.
No new wars president.
Fucking peace president. Peacetime president.
It's purely an offensive war.
I ended 7 or 8 or 9 wars. You should have given me the Nobel Peace Prize. Donald Trump.
Yeah.
God damn, man. What happened to no new wars?
As we said, there's no legal justification for any of this. They're not even really trying. And speaking of legal justifications, there's been murmurs within the DOD reported by various outlets, because of course it's the leakiest administration ever, that there's tons of like JAG officers, right? The lawyers of the military, who are essentially saying
there's
like
tons of jagging off going on in those
that are essentially saying like, yeah, no, this shit's crazy. Like there's no reason for us to be doing this. Of course, like Hegseth and all of them deny it. But also one thing I thought was interesting, there's this guy, John Woo. He worked for the Bush administration.
Okay.
John Woo was the guy who invented the legal justification for torture. John Woo, or John Yoo, sorry, not Woo. John
Good guy.
Yoo Mr. Torture, reviled by like everybody, right?
Yeah.
He is Mr. Torture, right alongside Dick Cheney. He is Mr. Torture. John Yoo said, quote, he said he now argues that the Trump administration's boat strikes risk crossing the line between crime fighting and war. Quote, Americans have died in car wrecks at an annual rate of about 40,000 in recent years. The nation does not wage war on auto companies. American law instead relies upon the criminal justice or civil tort systems to respond to broad, persistent social harms. They've lost Mr. Torture.
It's Mr. Torture, dude.
It's Mr. Torture.
When you lose the guy that's like, nah, we should put fucking car batteries on dudes' nipples to get information out of them. You've lost the plot.
You've lost the guy who's responsible for like the Abu Ghraib picture of the dude standing on the box.
Mr. Torture, that's Mr. Evil right there.
Yeah, you've lost John Yoo.
Fucking evil incarnate right there going out saying, well, guys, you've gone too far.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's absolutely fucking absurd. We should not be going to war with Venezuela.
We should not. We should not be amassing military in the ocean leading into Venezuela and the whatever it is. Just what happened to no new wars?
Yeah.
What happened going on? And I can't wait to see just a billion people, a billion pundits on Fox News and the conservative sphere go like, oh no, we got to do this because
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's what a lot of like liberal media I've seen is doing, is essentially trying to sane wash this and find a justification because they love war.
This is what disillusions me about like politics. And like this is where I go like, oh, fake news media, blah, 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 and like actually fall into like the line of like legacy media, blah, 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 always running cover for the state, because it's like anyone can look at this and see that this is something that's wrong.
Yep.
And see that this is something that we shouldn't be doing. No new wars, dude. Why would anyone want this?
No, it's crazy. I mean, it's regime change straight out of like the Eisenhower, Reagan, Nixon eras, right?
That's just not what the world is doing. It's like we make fun of Israel for trying to be this like state that wants to do the old empire building that countries used to be able to get away with, but they are frustrated and they find themselves in this tension because they can't do it now because that's not how the world works. And it's like we're trying to do that now.
Yeah, we're trying to do like an old style coup, and it's like everybody sees it for what it is, and they're not even being subtle about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not
they
confident.
Lost Mr. Torture.
I'm not confident that they could pull off like Henry Kissinger style coups anymore. No. Trump would be too happy to talk about it to people.
Trump would instantly tweet about it on Truth Social.
Yeah.
Trump, the moment boots are on the ground, would tweet, boots on the ground.
And like Venezuela has like said, like, we want peace. Like, we're not just going to roll over and take this. Like, we do not want a war. But like, if we put boots on the ground, invade a country with American personnel, our people are going to die.
Yeah.
Like, at least I have no doubt that we would be able to defeat Venezuela in a land war. I mean, I guess I don't know like how competent people like fucking Pete Hegseth are commanding the armed forces, but like just based on like the differentials in military power, I would assume that we wouldn't like lose this war. But some of our people will die for no fucking reason, just because Trump and Marco Rubio don't like Maduro. And this isn't to defend Maduro, but it's like, dog, this is not how you like fix things in other countries.
Yeah, it's like innocent Venezuelans and Americans will die because of this.
Yes.
Like you are sending American sons and daughters, American soldiers to go over there and die in a useless war for your pet project. That's silly.
It's because they don't like Maduro, and it's probably because Venezuela has lots of oil.
Yeah.
Like $1 trillion in oil beneath them.
It's always that.
It's always fucking oil, dude.
Oh, it doesn't. It always come back to it.
But it's just so sauceless this time. I should also say that Trump recently said he'd be open to striking Mexico.
What the fuck, man?
He said the cartels in Mexico, and Sheinbaum was like, no. Like Mexico's an ally, like one of the longest allies of the United States.
Like it's right on our border, man. Why do we want to? Why does he want to cause problems with everybody?
I don't know.
Bro's a problem.
Bro is a problem. Like, it's not, we shouldn't do this.
No.
It's bad, and I don't like it.
It's hard to come up with commentary for this one.
Yeah.
It's not like as absurd on its face as the Epstein situation is. It's not like the government shutdown where there's like American politics interplaying here and there's public opinion and blah, 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 and all these like political maneuvers happening. It's just like this dude wants to start a war to kill people just cuz.
Yeah, no, it's Hegseth, man.
It's beyond parody.
It's just Hegseth excited to kill people. Marco Rubio hates like every country in Latin America for some reason.
Yeah.
Donald Trump doesn't like Maduro and is mad that he couldn't oust him the first administration. Like, this is what is crazy.
What's the point, man?
Yeah.
What's the point? Do we want Venezuela to be, I don't know, like some vassal state?
I guess.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sick. You know, sometimes it just feels like all the news happens on Monday and Tuesday.
It's messed up.
But my favorite podcast drops episode on Wednesdays. I don't know what to do. It feels like they miss all of it.
That's a curse.
If only there was a platform that I could go to where I could listen to these episodes early, maybe when they record them. Do you have any thoughts?
Boy, do I have a solution for you.
Oh, do tell.
If you head over to patreon.com/headintheofficepod, you can listen to Head in the Office episodes before the Curse of Monday and Tuesday news comes out.
Really? Do tell.
And you get access to commercial-free episodes. And everybody wants commercial-free episodes.
I bet there's also a whole host of other benefits and community engagement that they offer.
And friendship.
Very true.
Who doesn't want friendship?
The most important thing.
Absolutely.
In times like this.
Back to the episode. Speaking of things that are hard to offer commentary for.
Yeah.
We got to talk about Israel, the UN, and this quote-unquote peace plan for Gaza, which is anything but.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a ceasefire in name only because people are still dying and the institutions of the world have just greenlit even more of this monstrosity, and it's not good.
Oh, cool. When does that ever happen?
Yeah, no, exactly. So the news here is that the UN just passed a resolution 13-0, the Security Council.
Lots of unanimous things going on.
Yeah, and it approved Trump's Gaza plan for the next several years. The resolution passed with China and Russia abstaining for some reason.
Interesting.
Russia has this is what they said. They said they were publicly opposed to the plan, but they didn't vote against it. And if they had voted against it, they could have stopped it from actually passing.
Don't they have a veto?
Yeah. Well, they're a part of the 5 countries that get a veto. They didn't use it though, and so the plan passed, and the resolution is evil.
How come the U.S. only vetoes good things? How come we only get a veto at the Security Council when it's the U.S. saying no to food and like no to Gaza being good?
Yeah, and we use our power on the Security Council to routinely protect Israel just for fun.
So sick.
We prevented them from any and all accountability under the Biden administration, and we continue to do that here.
Well, because we kept vetoing resolutions that were like, Israel, stop.
Yeah, no more killing. And then the ambassador to the UN was like, what if we did that?
You're being anti-Semitic.
So this resolution calls for a couple of things. First of all, there's the International Stabilization Force, or the ISF, consisting of forces from neighboring countries such as Egypt, Indonesia, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates. They're required to ensure, quote, the permanent decommissioning of weapons from non-state armed groups, and it authorizes, quote, to use all necessary measures to carry out this mandate. Nominally,
what does that mean? All necessary measures? Yeah,
kill. It means kill. And I will note that a lot of these countries, especially UAE, is pretty worried about, like, because their population's not that big, right?
Yeah.
And they're really worried about sending members of their armed forces there to die because there's going to be a lot of public backlash if that happens. But they are charged with using all necessary measures to essentially decommission weapons from Hamas, because that's the point.
This is Hamas disarm or we'll fucking kill you.
Yeah, and to be clear, Hamas has not agreed to this resolution, and they have not agreed to disarm. Those negotiations just did not produce anything. Hamas is opposed to this resolution.
Man, there's been so much that's going on. I forgot where we were like a month ago when this all happened.
I know.
What was the situation? Do you remember what the situation was? Like, it was like Hamas agreed to initially like the ceasefire thing.
Yeah.
And then were they supposed to continue negotiations on Hamas's disarmament or something?
Well,
or are they just saying, fuck that?
I think I remember they just like changed the PDF that they were sending around. Like, Hamas agreed to one set of provisions, and then the Trump administration just changed it because Israel, of course, didn't want to negotiate. And now we're here with the UN agreeing to this monstrosity.
I can't remember at this point, like, did Hamas agree to disarm initially? I don't think they did, because I think they never wanted to do that. But I know there was a thing where it's like, if they laid down their weapons and told Israel they could get safe passage out, but it's just like, we're just back to kill yourself or die. Yeah,
no, exactly. And the safe passage out thing is still in here as well.
Okay.
Like, they can leave.
I guess,
they can either leave or they can disarm. But if they want to stay, they have to disarm or kill themselves, I guess.
Okay.
So that's the first provision, the first major thing. The second one, and this one's really good. It creates a board of peace with Trump at the head that is responsible.
He's real good at that.
That is responsible for reconstruction and distribution of aid. This board lasts until 2027. Other notable members include Jared Kushner, Jared of Arabia, and Tony Blair from the United Kingdom.
It's just going to be fucking Dubai, man.
Yes.
It's just going to be fucking Dubai, and that sucks so bad, actually. Gazans are just going to build like whatever megacity Jared Kushner envisions and then never get to reap the rewards of it and just continuously be, I don't know, indentured servants to whatever capital class moves in.
Yeah. And speaking of the capital class, from the New York Times, quote, the resolution allows the World Bank, a UN entity, to allocate financial resources for the reconstruction of Gaza and calls for the establishment of a dedicated trust fund for this purpose. The World Bank, for those that don't know, and sort of the international financial instruments that surround it, like the IMF and stuff, essentially pull up on struggling countries, offer them these loans or financial aid with a bunch of strings attached, and then keep these countries, or I guess in the case of Gaza, not even a country, keep these regions in a permanent cycle of capitulation to Western interests.
Don't they love to give out loans that are like, this is in USD and you can only use US contractors for this?
Yes, exactly. It's essentially hollowing out a country financially.
Guys, I just secured massive investment into the US.
And the sell to this, or the sort of neoliberal framing, is that like countries that are struggling can go and get these loans from the IMF or the World Bank or whatever, and then they can build up their economy so they can compete or at least raise living standards. But the purpose of loans like this or trust funds like this is not to put countries or regions on the same trajectory as like the United States in terms of development. It's to, again, force them to capitulate to Western interests. So either it can become a Haiti or it can become a Dubai.
Yeah.
There's no world where this becomes like comparable to anywhere in Europe or the United States itself. So
sick.
That sucks bigly. And lastly, of course, there is no timeline for statehood whatsoever. From the resolution, after some reforms move forward, quote, the conditions may finally be in place for a credible pathway to Palestinian self-determination and statehood. May be in place.
Yeah, that's always been the case with this resolution. This resolution has always been designed to just like say that like, Israel, I know you don't want this. We're going to just pretend to put this in there so that people can maybe be, so that we can feel comfortable voting for this and forcing the Palestinians to just never have their own state. Mm-hmm. Because Netanyahu continues to reaffirm that that's just never happening.
Yeah.
Which is just a violation of these terms here, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when Israel violates something. It only matters when Hamas or people in Gaza violate something.
Yeah, I was going to say, Netanyahu this week reiterated, quote, our opposition to a Palestinian state and a territory has not changed.
Cool. Yeah,
he literally just said it. So like it's in the resolution. They're like, shit, maybe, I don't know, at some point it can become a state. But the prime minister here is saying no.
Like you have to at least pretend. You're supposed to at least pretend, but it's like, I don't know, I guess if evil world leaders have learned anything from Trump, it's that you don't even have to pretend to abide by the rules of liberal democracy and a rules-based order and procedure and precedent. You can just go out there and write one thing and just say literally whatever you want, and it doesn't matter because it makes people, the other people around you that have power, feel comfortable as long as it's in writing.
Yeah, everything else is just set dressing.
Yeah.
Like it's all just a facade, and that shit fucking sucks because we're talking about people that are dying here.
Yeah, and it's like the facade has been dramatically ripped away from anybody that's been like actually paying attention. Like you look at this and you see exactly how the gears and the cogs are moving in the background, yet everyone is still pretending that those gears aren't the ones. Don't worry, they're just saying those things. It's actually like the UN, we're really powerful and we're doing a lot and we're holding things together. Nothing's being held together.
Well, and it's like Richie Torres says, he's like, well, I don't like Netanyahu, but I'm in favor of Israel as a state. And it's like, well, this is what Israel as a state is doing.
Because like this sucks, man.
And we're using our power at the UN to make this system even worse. Like, I don't know, man. It seems like a structural issue.
Yeah, and there's just so much like, I don't know if set dressing is the right term, but there's so much like choosing enemies carefully or choosing what you want to focus on very carefully so that you can avoid, I don't know, actual implications that would solve things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so stupid.
Yeah. Airstrikes, during all of this, airstrikes have continued in Gaza, despite Israel and others agreeing to it. Yeah, no, exactly. Airstrikes have continued. People keep dying. Mike Waltz, Trump's ambassador to the UN, said before the deal was voted on, quote, a vote against this resolution is a vote to return to war.
Okay.
So literally just saying, if you vote no, if this doesn't pass, we're just going to keep killing you. Again, that's not a negotiation.
It's crazy because it's like, it's a vote. He goes here and he says, a vote no is a vote for us to keep killing them.
Yes.
Like, come on.
Yes, exactly. This is just colonialism, imperialism backed up by a UN peace plan. And there's nothing about this plan that will actually bring about peace. Again, as we said at the top of this section, it is a ceasefire in name only. This is intended to further disenfranchise the Palestinian people. While, and I will note, this is like an important component of it, making no demands of Israel, right?
Yes.
There's tons and tons of demands on the Palestinian people, on people that are actually party to this resolution in terms of like de-radicalization and like materials that are shared in school, disarmament and all this kind of stuff. Nothing is required of Israel for this arrangement.
It feels like
statehood isn't even required.
Yeah, anything that would go against like what Israel traditionally wants in here is just a maybe.
Yeah.
It's Palestinian statehood's a maybe. And it's like, even I'm reminded of back, I guess a couple months ago when we were going through that drama between like Hamas couldn't find some of the bodies that were buried under rubble of the hostages because like, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they needed help doing it. Israel was getting mad, and Israel's like, okay, we're going to expand the border zone. It's like, can you fucking do that? It's like Trump, man. We talk about Israel, it's like talk about Trump. It doesn't even matter asking whether or not they can or can't do something, because they're just going to fucking do it, and they're going to get away with it.
Yeah.
Because nobody is committed to holding them accountable for any of the atrocities that they're committing.
Yeah, I guess the only requirement placed on Israel is slowly over time pulling out of the Gaza Strip. But it's
like slowly over time, maybe, as we meet these specific markers that we've talked about and are also still maybes, and we'll define those at a later date, maybe because.
It's that, and it's also like, even if they do fully pull out, even if there's like rigid requirements for them to move out by certain dates, it's like it's about to be occupied by a force that just does Israel's bidding anyway, maybe a little bit less violent because their people are afraid to die.
Yeah.
Like, it's full-on occupation, and to the extent that things will be reconstructed, to the extent that people don't have to die anymore, of course it's a good thing, but it's like, because it does not recognize the fault of Israel in any of this, it's not a path forward to peace, it's just a path forward to more violence in the future. And
it's like, you think Jared Kushner gives a shit about Gaza?
No.
You think Jared Kushner,
he wants to build a casino.
Trump, exactly. Trump was in the Oval Office talking about like, oh, great beachfront property.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
That's how he's been talking about it for months.
You can't have people who are talking like that in here and like expect me to pretend that they're serious about any of this.
Yeah.
Nobody's serious about anything, and it's never been so obvious.
Yeah, and I will say, just to end off this section here, there was some recent news that came out that Israel had been using cluster munitions in Lebanon.
Oh, nice.
Completely, I guess not like literally separate, but separate in the sense that a different military operation. Yeah, they were using cluster munitions in Lebanon. These are mega illegal because they, by design, kill so many civilians, because a lot of them don't go off. They land in the ground, and then someone goes and steps on them years later. And Israel was just using them willy-nilly.
So cool.
Which is bad.
Wasn't that like a big deal with Ukraine?
Yeah.
Like, that was a big part of conditioning aid to Ukraine, is that you can't use cluster munitions and whatnot, but when it's Israel, it's just completely fine.
Yeah, they're just using, and shit might have come from us.
Yeah, we might have given it to them like, okay, here you go. No, that's dope. I have one more thing about like Gaza broadly, but this isn't what's happening in Gaza. This isn't the peace deal. This isn't the UN. This is homegrown. Because this week, I don't know if this speech was this week, but either way, the video went viral this week of former Obama speechwriter Sarah Hurwitz talking about like how bad it is that Zionism is losing the youth. And this is going to be a clip I'm going to play for you. It's about 1minute, 13 seconds, but boy, is it just a banger.
All right,
let's check it out.
When on TikTok all day long, they see powerful Israelis hurting weak, skinny Palestinians, it's not surprising that they think, oh, I know, the lesson of the Holocaust is you fight Israel. You fight the big, powerful people hurting the weak people. You have TikTok smashing our young people's brains all day long with video of carnage in Gaza. And this is why so many of us can't have a sane conversation with younger Jews, because anything that we try to say to them, they are hearing it through this wall of carnage. So I want to give data and information and facts and arguments, and they are just seeing in their minds carnage, and I sound obscene.
Yes!
Holocaust education is absolutely essential. But I think it may be confusing some of our young people about anti-Semitism because they learn about big, strong Nazis hurting weak, emaciated Jews. And they think, oh, anti-Semitism is like anti-black racism, right? Powerful white people against powerless black people. So when on TikTok all day long they see powerful Israelis hurting weak, skinny Palestinians, it's not surprising that they think, oh, I know, the lesson of the Holocaust is you fight Israel. You fight the big, powerful people hurting the weak people.
Dog, she said, holy shit, she said this looks too similar to the Holocaust.
Isn't that fucking deranged? Like, she's seriously making the argument that, like, people are seeing carnage and atrocities and emaciated Palestinians. People are watching Palestinians get murdered. Upwards of 70,000 confirmed dead right now. She's seeing that and like, oh, no, I can't talk to them about, like, stats and whatever because people are watching them be genocided.
Yeah.
If people weren't able to watch them be genocided and fucking blown up and murdered in front of their eyes, then maybe I'd be able to get away with talking about how Israel's good.
Dude.
Like, are you serious? Like,
That's
genuinely,
crazy.
like, it's deranged to employ this argument that, like, oh, they're watching these people get ripped limb from limb? I can't have a sane conversation with them. Yeah, because it's bad to watch people get ripped limb from limb. It is insane to ignore the human cost of these things.
Dude, that's
just discount death and destruction and wanton killing.
Yeah.
so that I can say the Zionist project is good. What the fuck are we talking about?
So many Zionists for like years at this point have been saying like, oh, all the kids see is all this stuff on TikTok. Like, they're mad that you're seeing the carnage, not that the carnage is happening.
They're mad that they can't hide their talking points behind like a wall. They're mad that they can't separate you from what's actually going on the ground.
And even with like the Van Jones thing, when he was like, dead Gaza baby, like the point he was trying to make is that people are being fed this stuff through an algorithm and that makes them hate Israel, but he never addresses the fact that there are dead babies.
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Like, have you considered that maybe there's a reason that you can't get away from the carnage that was going on in Palestine, at least during the most intense parts of the war, because it was so blatant and bad in your face? Again, like, as of now, it's upwards of 70,000 Palestinians confirmed dead in this conflict over the last 2 years. 70,000 just confirmed. They're still searching under rubble. They're still looking for people. There are still missing bodies that are happening.
Yeah.
Like, yes, the wall of carnage is bad. The wall of carnage is why this is all bad.
It's the problem, I'd say.
The wall of carnage is the worst part of everything that's going on here.
It's just like the admission that this looks too similar to the Holocaust is crazy.
Yes.
And it's essentially saying like, well, the Holocaust is cool if we do it to somebody else. Right? Like, that's the implication.
And it's like, how are you seriously going to get up there on stage and argue for your side by saying, God, they just keep showing us, the big, strong people, killing the weak, emaciated people?
Yeah.
That's always bad. Like, what do you mean, dude? This is peak liberal Zionism, too. Oh, my. The comparison to anti-black racism, the bringing that in to make yourself sound woke and whatnot. Like, come on, man.
It's depraved, man. It's depraved. It's fucking insane.
What is it with these people who came up under Obama?
Dude, liberal Zionists are so, because like I expect this out of conservatives. Conservatives love death and destruction.
Yeah.
They have like weird racial biases against brown people generally. Like, you expect them to not give a shit about Palestinians.
Yeah.
But it's so crazy to see liberals try to twist themselves into a pretzel to talk about how they support human rights, but how it's okay if we completely ignore them when it comes to Palestinians. It's insane. It's such like an interesting case study into the liberal brain to see this unfold. I
don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get how you can sit there and say like, oh yeah, TikTok's showing people the reality of war on the ground and now they're anti-war. Oh no?
Yeah.
That's a bad thing?
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous.
And again, nobody, like, they're not mad that there's carnage. They're not mad that there's dead babies. They're not mad that all of these terrible things are happening. They're just mad that you can see them. They don't want you to know what's happening.
And this is why we talk about moral clarity when it comes to Gaza so often, because she is trying to obfuscate the clear morals of the situation by talking about stats and figures that are probably fucking dumb and made up anyway.
But it's like, you don't even have to show that. We've never shown images of like people torn apart by Israeli bombs. We just talk about what's happened.
Exactly.
And it's like,
that's compelling enough.
Yeah. Like, just citing the figures and talking about what's happening on the ground based on like mainstream outlets that I read. That is enough to convince me that like, oh yeah, this shit's evil.
Exactly.
I don't even need to, and like, I'm a squeamish guy, you know, I can't look at videos of dead bodies and stuff.
Yeah, there were like 2 instances where shit was so and it's not even TikTok, it's Twitter for me at least.
Yeah.
Where Twitter was so popular, things were popping off so badly in Gaza that it penetrated whatever, and I did have to see the horrible carnage that was happening. And it was when the emaciated baby pictures came out and like some other instances. The fire hospital.
Yeah, well, but they talk about TikTok so much. And I see a lot on Instagram Reels as well. Like, there's lots of pro-Palestine. And it gets suppressed, certainly, but like, they talk about TikTok because the narrative they're trying to push is that the Chinese government is serving up these images to young people to get the West to divide itself. That's the narrative. And that's what Van Jones said when he was on Bill Maher. Like, that part didn't get as much attention because he was doing the dead Gaza baby bit. But that's the narrative, is that China is trying to divide us against ourselves by getting the young kids mad about Palestine. And it's like, maybe you shouldn't be doing a genocide in Palestine, and then they couldn't do that.
Hey, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe China wouldn't have the opportunity to divide us in this way if we weren't signing bombs and sending them over to Israel. If Josh Shapiro didn't sign a bomb that probably went and killed a kid.
Yeah, Josh Shapiro signed a bomb and probably killed children with it.
And Nikki Haley signed a bomb that probably killed children.
And China probably built like 4 hospitals in the same time span. Like, there's a reason that young people are so aggravated, and when they see this shit, they're appalled. It's like, we don't do anything good.
It's like, God, what goes wrong in your head that you think you can go out there and you can make that argument in public?
It's crazy, man. The liberal Zionists, dude.
Honestly, to me, that's just like a step down from Megyn Kelly ephebophilia. From Megyn Kelly doing, a 15-year-old's different than a 5-year-old. Like, both of these things are things that should not be accepted in the public realm.
Yeah.
They shouldn't. That shouldn't be accepted in polite society.
I think that like the liberal Zionists just hadn't been questioned for so long, and they're just even though they've had like 2 years to come up with something, they're just they are just so incapable of defending their position at this point because everyone is mad about such an obvious injustice.
They're like, God, I'm so sick of having to see dead looking at these dead babies is really swaying your opinion on the Zionist project. Yeah.
I mean, it's the shit they were doing outside the DNC. They covered up their ears. Remember?
Oh my God,
there were Palestine protesters outside the DNC last year, and a bunch of like I don't know if it was delegates or just attendees walked through the crowd covering up their ears.
Bro,
like
liberal don't be corny challenge.
Liberal don't be corny challenge, dude. It's impossible. It's why I just cannot count myself among their ranks, man.
Exactly.
I can never be them.
I'm independent.
So true.
Shout out Corinne Jean-Pierre.
We will be reading that book and reviewing it for you all. I just don't know when, but
it's coming soon.
Anyways, ending out the show on a couple of extras here. I want to talk about Kash Patel.
We got to talk about Kash Patel. Come on,
just for a brief moment. Kash Patel, my favorite guy in the administration.
Kash Bug Eyes Patel.
Oh my God, Kash Challenge Coin Patel.
Kash look like I'm about to throw up all the time, Patel.
Dude, everything we learn about Kash Patel is just so goofy, dog.
Yeah.
And most recently, Kash Patel has been taking private flights on the taxpayer dollar to go visit his like D-list country singer girlfriend at pro wrestling matches.
That's so cool.
And he's been taking all these flights all around. He's been saying that like he's been trying to justify it and shit. He gave his girlfriend, again, his D-list country singer girlfriend, an FBI security detail. And again, we're paying for all of this. And a lot of people on the right have been mad at him, calling her like a Mossad plant because apparently apparently she's like suing a bunch of different conservative influencers, and it's like, when your bitch is so bad, the gang is convinced she must be Mossad. It's so awesome, dude. It's so fun. Kash Patel is so funny.
No, because it's like, it's not even worth looking at seriously. Because like, people don't even look at Trump Qatari jet seriously. People don't look at Trump's corruption seriously. So I can't even begin to even take seriously the idea that I could convince somebody that Kash Patel is corrupt and that this is a waste. And ultimately, he's such a dude. Like, Kash Patel is just such like a guy. I feel like this is the most guy thing to do. Just like, you get in a position of power, you are woefully underqualified to be where you are.
He's a podcaster.
And you don't know what to do, so you use U.S. taxpayer dollars to fly in a private jet to go to fucking wrestling matches with your D-list country singer Mossad plant girlfriend.
Because she's singing at them.
Alleged Mossad plant girlfriend. Come on, man.
I love how the right wing is like, there's no way he actually bagged her. She must be a Mossad agent. Bitch so bad nobody can believe you actually got her. Bitch so bad she must be a Mossad plant.
That's so cool. He's living the life. If this was like, if this was more like Trump won, I feel like Kash Patel would be my favorite figure.
Yeah, he's so funny. I feel like he is sort of endemic of the problem for the Trump administration. There are so few people in this administration that genuinely are like thinking about the future. Yeah. Right? There's so few people that are thinking about like legacy or who's going to carry the torch or whatever. So many of them are just in there to get theirs and to just to dick around.
Well, these people don't want to govern. Like, these people don't want to govern. They don't want to govern effectively. They do not give a shit about anything that takes. Yeah. They just want to like say like, yeah, I was the head of the FBI or whatever.
Exactly. Like, there's two types of people in this Trump administration. It's motherfuckers like Kash Patel who don't actually want to do any work. Yeah. And then Nazis like Stephen Miller who are intent on killing people.
Two sides of the challenge coin. Yeah. Two sides of the same challenge coin, man.
I love Kash Patel, dude. He's so funny. He's so funny. All while running cover for the Epstein stuff.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's big. What a fucking guy.
I can't believe he's director of the FBI.
What have they done?
Like, he's running the FBI?
What the fuck have they done? And Dan Bongino's deputy director?
And like regularly posting misinformation about the cases they're pursuing? Got the wrong guy on the Charlie Kirk assassination at first.
Instantly tweeted about it. Instantly tweeted misinformation. That's so cool, man. Critical support to my podcast colleagues.
Yeah, critical support. Also, there's some ICE stuff to talk about here.
Yeah, ICE still sucks. We keep bringing it up because it keeps happening in the background, but like, I feel like it's starting to kind of maybe penetrate again.
Yep.
I get like why it's not. I feel like ICE has sort of just become this like banal evil that's just been running around, and it's hard to pay as much attention to it because they've just been doing the bad thing for so long everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's starting to penetrate because over the last few days, I keep videos of ICE sucking Bigley are popping up on my For You page, my Twitter, my Instagram. And right now, ICE is like targeting kids near Charlotte, North Carolina. They're doing operations in Charlotte. They're running around everywhere. I saw a video of them grabbing a 15-year-old just while dressed in full fatigues, face mask and everything. And I took a screenshot of like the picture on this video of them arresting this 15-year-old just to show you. Maybe this doesn't make it into the show, but look at that fucking loser.
Oh my god, dude.
He's in full fatigues with like a matching like gator with a fucking matching camo baseball hat and sunglasses on.
In a civilian place.
In a civilian
in
place.
an urban environment.
And he's ripping a 15-year-old out of their workplace. We don't talk enough about how big of losers these ICE guys are. I'm fucking serious, man. And it reminds me of these conversations that you see in comment sections every once in a while where conservatives or conservative-aligned people are always talking about like, oh, we need to bring back bullying. And it's always in the context of a trans person they think is weird or like a fucking furry.
Yeah.
And it should be in the context of guys who get up and they play military dress-up to go and brutalize 15-year-olds and rip them out of their workplace and do these things. That's fucking loser behavior. It's dudes who play dress up, dudes who get dressed up in full fucking desert camo to go to the goddamn city so that they can arrest people who otherwise stood no chance 15 deep.
Yeah, so
that's loser behavior. These are guys that have nothing going for them otherwise.
Also, no, they literally don't. I mean, all anecdotal evidence suggests that they just want to hurt people.
Yeah.
And like you're signing up for ICE just so you can descend on the civilian populations, innocent people who have done nothing wrong.
And civilian populations is important here because there was new reporting from the Chicago Tribune that came out that found that 97% of the immigrants detained in Operation Midway Blitz in Chicago had no criminal convictions, according to federal court records. This is like their own data, guys.
And that's consistent with how this has been going from the beginning.
Yes.
The vast majority of people they picked up are not criminals.
The most unsurprising piece of news ever. When Stephen Miller is enforcing a culture, enforcing policy of going to Home Depot and grabbing day laborers off the street, you know that those guys aren't the fucking criminals. You know that not everyone in this Chicago apartment building they zeroed Arc 30 is gonna be a criminal.
Well, no, and like as I said at the top of the episode, they're just going like door to door whenever they see a brown person, thank you Supreme Court, and saying, hey, where were you born? What the fuck?
Entirely predictable if you haven't bought into all the racist propaganda.
And like if they're asking where you were born, they don't have a warrant, like obviously, by definition.
All because the Supreme Court said that they can just profile anybody. So they're just gonna run around the suburbs looking for fucking landscapers. And then JD Vance gets to go and claim that there's 30 million of them here that are buying $500,000 single family homes.
No, dude, they're making the $500,000 single family home.
And they're getting arrested while doing so because of your administration, because of Stephen Miller and Donald Trump, because ICE is doing violence for the sake of violence, facilitated by loser guys who got nothing else going on for them in their lives.
I just don't give a shit if someone's here illegally.
Exactly.
In fact, being here illegally is cooler than being an ICE agent.
It props up the farm industry. It props up cheap groceries. And I'm not saying that to do the thing like, oh, we should have these people who are exploited. They shouldn't be exploited. I'm just talking about economic realities that we need to face when doing something like this. It's a bit ridiculous. ICE has also been ramping up operations here in Michigan, like very recently, and that sucks hugely.
Once again, I will remind you, if somebody comes to your door, shut the fuck up.
Real.
You've never talked to any of your neighbors before. You didn't see a goddamn thing. Stay on your own lane.
Exactly. Everyone I know is a white citizen.
A good white citizen.
A good upstanding white citizen that could be in the military and clean shaven and could play dress up with Pete Hegseth.
These people are fucking evil, dude. I did see one video that a dude took in Charlotte. First of all, if ICE is ever doing anything around you, videotape
pull the phone out.
It is totally legal to videotape them. If you get in their way, they can like arrest you or have you detained for whatever reason. But as long as you keep your distance and videotape them, totally legal. Everybody should be doing that. There's this one video. This dude pulls up. He's in his car.
Okay.
He pulls up beside an ICE agent's car. Just one dude sitting in the car, and he's just recording him. And for like 4 minutes, he's just pastoring him. And the ICE agent's like, "You're gonna see what happens." And he's like, "Fine, what's gonna happen?
What are you gonna do?
Fucking do it.
You're about to get a huge payout."
Eventually, like the last half of the video is the ICE agent just silent, like looking around, trying to look busy. And the dude's like, "Fucking do it, coward." These dudes are losers.
They suck so bad, and they're just playing dress up. They're playing dress up, but it has like actual real ramifications for people's lives, and that's horrible. And that's stupid, guys. Oh my god, ICE sucks bigly.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue to get news about how ICE sucks bigly, and you should continue to say they suck.
Yeah, they do suck bigly.
They do.
They do suck bigly. I'm not a fan. No. Last extra, I guess, is sedition.
Yeah, this hot off the press.
Hot off the press.
When we started recording this one, happened today, and I didn't think anything of it when I first saw the video. You know what I'm saying? Should we play the fucking video?
I think so, because like liberal make a video. You know what I mean?
Liberal love making video, and this is like you want to preempt it while I pull this up?
Yeah, the Democrats, the Democrats that are like veterans, right, that served in the armed forces, have been doing a number of different videos. This is not the first one they've done, and it's usually people like Mark Kelly and Alyssa Slotkin and other people in Congress, other Democrats that served, essentially making the argument against whatever Trump is doing with the military, whether it's National Guard invading the cities or strikes in Venezuela, whatever.
We say whatever because it's very like vague.
Yeah, and when I say liberal make video, it's just liberal make video.
It is liberal make video. I thought this was nothing. I did not give a shit about this when I saw it. I'm going to play the video because it's important to understand the reaction that happens later.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
who take risks each day.
Keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals.
against American citizens. Like us, you all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
But from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
you must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army,
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
your vigilance is critical
and know that we have your back.
because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
The most nothing burger video ever. Like, they're trying to be edgy when they say, like, you must resist illegal orders. You don't have to resist you can resist illegal orders. You don't have to carry them out, which is just the law.
Yeah.
That's just the law as written in this country, and they're doing it. It's a virtue signal, dog.
Well, when I said liberal make video, like, it's the most like liberal, honestly, a milquetoast video. I get what they're trying to do with it, but it's nothing that crazy.
Like, they're not implying anything there.
Yeah.
It's just, this is the law, blah, blah, blah. We're going to use this and stand on it and try to be like a little edgy as we do our centrist thing.
This is not Jay Jones. This is not Jay Welcome Down Jones.
No. And this is not something that warrants a reaction from Trump where he goes and posts on Truth Social, seditious behavior punishable by death, and retweets something that says, hang them George Washington would.
That's crazy.
You can't do that. You can't. I sound corny. I feel corny. I feel really corny saying this, but it's like you cannot be the president of the United States, and when some centrist senators give you light pushback, or centrist representatives give you light pushback, go and say, all right, fuck you, die.
It's like sedition is when you quote the law.
Yeah.
Like sedition is when you like recite the law at me. Like, what are we talking about?
Are you kidding me? And like that law is also like important. That law is a law that came after, like, I don't know, people in Nuremberg tried to say I was just following orders. That's kind of the point of having a law like that, is so you don't get like another Holocaust. But Trump would love it if he could order the military to do literally whatever he wants and just be a dictator with it. So much so that he's saying death to these representatives that dared to cite the law back at me. I feel like a liberal right now. I feel gross acting like this and crashing out about this, but I feel like this is a dramatic step forward and step down.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because like you're clouding Alyssa Slotkin.
Yes.
Like, again, we're talking the most moderate, milquetoast, non-resisting senators of all time. Alyssa Slotkin was like, yeah, I'd be cool with these Venezuela strikes. You just got to brief me.
And like, why are you clouding Alyssa Slotkin, bro? We're clouding all the wrong people.
Alyssa Slotkin will let you get away with damn near anything military-wise, as long as you just let her in on the meeting.
Yes.
But like, you're giving her the clout for just saying like, hey, we know it's difficult to be a member of the military right now. You don't have to do anything illegal. In fact, you're not allowed to do anything illegal. That's sedition and that's worthy of execution?
That's sedition.
What?
That's worthy of the death penalty? You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. Like, it's ridiculous. And it brings me back. It brings me back to last summer when we had the Lester Olth video after the Trump assassination attempt at the rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, where Lester Holt said, Joe Biden, do you feel like your fiery rhetoric is what caused this? Joe Biden's fiery rhetoric.
He's known for that.
We had to have liberal media tried to have serious conversations about whether or not the Democrats had turned up the temperature too much on politics in this country, and now Trump just does this.
Yeah.
Trump says we should fucking A, man. Come on.
And a lot of it's not just Trump, it's tons of like conservative, like big conservative Twitter accounts going crazy about it too. Like that video had like 20,000 likes, 21,000 comments. It was one of those.
Like, could you imagine if Joe Biden did this? Mm-hmm. I hate doing it. Mm-hmm. I hate doing it. It pains me. I feel a sharp sting in my heart whenever I say it. But could you imagine if Joe Biden did this?
I feel like you could probably find a tweet or two from Republican senators or representatives that probably said something similar.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to listen to Joe Biden's illegal orders or some shit like that.
No, literally. Like, you don't have to go trans the soldier or some dumb shit, you know?
Yeah.
Come on. And Trump also said, like, this one wasn't as bad, but it's still worthy. He said, responding to the video, this is really bad and dangerous to our country. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. Seditious behavior from traitors. Lock them up. President DJT.
Sedition is when you know the law.
Sedition is when liberal make video.
Yeah.
Sedition is when come.
Yeah, dude. If that's sedition, we're fucked.
No, we're getting locked up. We're goners, dude.
We're going to Gitmo with Ron DeSantis.
We might get hit Osama style in the studio. Mm-hmm. They might bust into this apartment building and shoot our ass on site.
Well, that's crazy, and that brings us to the end of another year in politics. Because holy moly, that's what I'm saying. It felt like a year.
This would have been spread over the span of 6 months under Biden. Mm-hmm. In the most intense 6 months under Biden, let me tell you. We spent like 6 or 8 months on this podcast when we first started, just breaking down updates of the big beautiful bill.
Yeah.
Every week it was just, this is what's happening this week with the big beautiful bill. I don't like Joe Manchin. I don't like Kyrsten Sinema.
Yeah. And now I feel like we talk about a big beautiful. No, that was the Build Back Better. We're getting our BBBs mixed up.
Come on, because he stole Biden's flow. Everything is Biden.
Everything is Biden. And
Build back Biden.
Everything's Biden, and everything's like 1980s misogyny and racism.
Biden's back better. Big beautiful Biden. It's all Biden, man. It's all him, dude. Come on.
Bubba Blue Bill. What the fuck? Oh wait, no. Bubba is Bill.
Bubba been blown.
Bubba been blown. There
Bubba
you
been
go.
Blown.
Man, I'm just we can't keep up with this. We got to get out of here.
Frankly, it's all too much.
It's all too much.
It's all way too much right now. And I got to give a special thanks to the people that compel me to be here twice a week
against
now,
my will. I'm chained to the chair
to deliver you the news. It's like a magnet on my butt. Special thanks to Caden Kraut, Chris the Postman, Christy Beck, Mike Jublinski, Clayton LaFed, Mark Yeager, Caleb Joy, Rich Taro, Tari, Fergalaki, Max Vezquez, Jacob Rogers, Colton Newberry, Fixer Punk, Jim Egbers, Big Burrito, Cincy Alex, Joe Stentrum, Adrian Sandoval, Chloe Sam 601, Colleen Cut, Jennifer DeVoe, Croft Fishing, Bennett Bennington III, Alexi Benanti, Big Booty Beatdown, Sam Melody, Ted Cruz's Boy Toy, Dictator Jace, Luke O'Shea, Cocker Tarleson, Danielle Jackson, The Word of Microsoft, Jennifer Signs, Aaron Hannah's Gundam Gundams, Darth Father, Taylor for Content, Curry Chambers, Retro Mondo, Veronica, aka V, Raxon, Ash Smith, The Grottler, Murder in a Trench Coat, Casey Lynn Kelly, aka Ghana, Guana Don, Zach Lantian, Austin Greif, Marcus Corbett, Caleb Roper, Taylor Rensock, Cammy, Tylen Freeman, Isaac Hodges, Madeline C, Anna Valitic, KCC, Sayas to West August, Particular Pickman, Sir Capilot, Jeff Science, Brenda's Egg, Froggy Gumdrop, Jackie Boy, Shameless, Coherent Babbles, MJ is Sharp, Michaela Muncie, The Walls 3000, Chris T, Kashan Lala, Amanda R, Tyler J, Particulon, Memfrez, Rhonda Stiletto, Midwest Marxist, Joe the Mailman,
Gary from West Michigan, Shawnee GG, Juniper Not Jupiter, Stacked Crabs, I Crowley, Urban Peach, Lord of Forlorn, Holt Forsyth, Booty Snakes, Dew Fairy, Chelceratops, Austin Lima, Lane Waltz, Azim Fida Hussein, Gorgeous Girl Mukes, Brooklyn G, Noverk the Dastardly, Goldthorn, Addie Book, Merlin, Cryobongi, Sergeant Pookie, Hoodie, Kim Kitsuragi, Rose Grimm, Kristen, Jamie D. Young Extremist, Jack the Heathen, Archer W, Evan Mingo, AJ Torres, Elo Nico, Jake Hall, Seth Schmidt, Noah Sajas, Majawat, Ultra the Dragon, Mercy Boku, Dick Cheney and 6-Inch Heels, Luke Wechter, Henry Kraggles, Tristan Ringsmith, Yaya, Asura the Atheist, Aiden Reese, Deep State Agent, Puddle Pirate, Southern Lefty, Lark61, KC, Cannon Man, Troy H, Rock Muffalo, Nahan San Diego, Nut Mode, Nick from New Haven, Connor Nix, Sound Logic, Sleven, I Have Never Made a Woman Orgasm, John from Houston, Jordino, Haley Weibold, Pablo Vasquez, Nurse Jen, Soul DJ, Maple Big Dog, CIA Small Creators Fund, Taylor from Burnt Down Minneapolis, Northeast Nick, Aya, Retired AF and SC, YK Coolin, Wolfer G, Gayest Worm, Niles Chamberlain, Sugar Free Baja Blast, Kristen the Leftist Nurse, and my mom. Thank you all so much for supporting the show on Patreon.
So much.
We would die without you. We'd be shivering in the cold.
We would. And just a reminder, stop skipping the fucking reviews.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
a big
fuckers.
deal.
Yeah.
That's a big... Start listening to reviews.
Stop skipping the reviews and stop skipping when we read off the names. They deserve to be heard.
Uh-huh. Thanks for listening.
Have a great weekend.